freak.
That's all right.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
All right. Can y'all see it okay?
Yeah, it's working good.
All right, cool.
All right. In just 1 minute, guys, I will be introducing Regina. I'm so excited. Where's my sheets? Paper time. Regina, you've been with us 3 times now, speaking.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm seriously tearing up about it. Seriously. I'm an old sentimental fool.
Okay, let me get my lineup. Are you guys enjoying it so far? We're pretty laid back here. Yes, I'm surprised I don't have it memorized by now. There's all these checklists that I have to have in front of me happening to make this go. And one of them's record, which I'm going to do. So everyone who is recording, please record. Marie and Danielle. And that looks all awesome. And you're all ready, Regina?
I'm ready to roll.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. We've got Regina Lewis. She's going to be talking about 5 simple reasons why you haven't found your first client and how to fix them and how to fix that. And I'm really excited to have Regina with us. I've known her for quite a few years now. She spoke with us for 3 times now at VAVS, and she always has some awesome information to share with us. And especially excited because if you haven't found your first client yet, she's going to fix you all up in this webinar here. So a little bit about Regina. She is the course creator behind Live, Work by Faith. Her passion is to encourage, educate, and inspire women who want to use their gifts to work from home. And when she's not working at the local ministry as a volunteer coordinator, blogging, or tinkering with Squarespace, she enjoys spending time with her family watching Downtown Abbey to the point that it irritates her boys and people watching from her front porch. I haven't seen that one yet, so I got to check it out. Really excited to have you, Regina. And yeah, I'm just going to let you take the microphone here and do your presentation, and the questions, we'll have them at the end for you if you like, if that works best.
Oh, that works fine. Tanya, thank you. Thank you so much. Danielle, Marie, everybody behind the scenes, thank you for all that you do. And thank you for everybody who's live today. I am just thrilled to be here. And as Tanya mentioned, this is my 3rd year speaking. And when I talked to my coaching students this morning about that, I teared up. And I'm going to share why in a little bit, because this journey that we call being a VA has not always been easy. It's been full of turns and twists and just all sorts of stuff. But, you know, I've been placed here today to share with you guys, and it is just, I'm just amazed. And listen, there are 20 speakers in this conference, and
Okay, hang tight, guys. Regina, yeah. You're going in and out. Do you got anything else running in your background?
No. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'll let you know. You might want to start over again there because we missed a bit of stuff. So it could.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that sucks. Okay. Hold on.
Hopefully it works good. It's not a bad internet day.
I hope not. That would really suck, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. So here's the deal. All right. Like I was saying, I was thanking Tanya, thanking Danielle and Marie and everybody behind the scenes for this. This is an awesome conference. And as Tanya mentioned, this is my third year speaking. And I teared up when I talked to my coaching students about that this morning. And I got to tell you, this whole VA journey has not been easy. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Been some twists and turns and things, but I am so honored to be here today and being able to share with you guys. VAVS is honestly the best online conference out here for virtual assistants. And if you can take advantage of all the live sessions, I highly suggest that you do that. There are some great speakers at this conference, and you're going to learn so much, especially if you're just starting out. I have a heart for the new VA, the one who, is just starting out and so full of excitement. This is for you, and this is for veterans. This is for everybody in between. So welcome. All right. So do me a favor. I can't see the chat right now, but do me a favor and type in the chat where you're from and where you're listening from. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and just dive in. We're going to talk about some of the reasons, 5 reasons why you haven't found your first client. And we're going to talk about how to fix those mistakes. Okay. All right. So let's get started. All right. First off, who is Regina? Who is she? Okay, so I'm an online business owner since 2007, and I create courses for virtual assistants. I am big on learning and growing as an online service provider. I think that has to do with the fact that I used to be a homeschool mom for 6 years. I am big on learning. How did I get started as a VA? Total accident. I used to work as an administrative assistant for a real estate agent, and single mom, 3 boys. And I had a friend who was a divorced mom, like I was, who was looking to make some extra money. She asked if she could take care of boys while I went to work. Sure, she was my best friend. One of her boys was the same age as one of my boys. And long story short, she was actually leaving my boys home alone while she could go get high.
Regina, we've lost you again, right where you were talking about.
In my 2-bedroom apartment.
Regina?
Yeah.
We're losing you today. I don't know if it's a connection. I wonder if it's the chat area is so busy and it's knocking you out. I don't really know.
Oh, man.
I know because it keeps cutting out.
Well, let's do this, okay?
Yeah.
If you guys can give me 5 minutes,
yeah,
I'm going to run to another location and see if that makes a difference, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Regina.
Give me 5. Yeah.
Do you have a cable that can connect to your modem directly into your computer?
Give me 1 second. I'm going to run it from, you know what? Give me a second. I'm going to use my kid's desktop computer, and that's hardwired.
Okay, perfect. That'll be perfect.
Give me a second. I'll be back in a second, guys, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, guys, this is the joys of everybody has different internet connections, so bear with us. Worst case scenario, she would record it for us, but we'd love to hear in live time. So hopefully a lot of you people that are doing the live ones have pretty well much booked the whole day off to come and attend and watch live, so this shouldn't be much of a change. It'll take about 5 minutes for it to go through and figure it out. She'll probably have to come back into the room here as well, but hang tight. And any questions? Someone had a question earlier. Melissa, you had a question for me, and I can't remember what it was. It's way up there now. Whoops. Opening up something that I don't need to open up.
Hey, Tanya,
yes?
Melissa's question's in the Q&A box.
Is it in the Q&A? Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let me pull these up here. How do you mean to follow up with the presenters? That's what you're asking, Melissa. Well, I want you to do your VAVS the follow-up sheet. And I'm going to put that link into the chat room, okay, for all of you. And actually, I should put it, type the answer, and I will put it in there and it'll go into the questions. Should go in there. Maybe it just went to you. Anyways, there's the link. I want you to do that, okay? And hopefully, I got to start watching here for Regina coming back in the room, guys. So I got to stop talking a bit.
Hey, I've already put it in the group for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just watching for Regina. If you guys see her in the group area, please let me know. No, I'm just typing, guys. You can hear me typing.
Yeah, nothing yet.
I didn't want to shut my microphone off.
Hey, Tanya, nothing yet from Regina.
Okay.
Also, you could pause the recording so you have less to edit.
Oh, yeah, that's what I could do.
Good idea.
Okay, do we got her back yet? Sorry, guys, we're just waiting for Regina to set up with another computer. Hopefully it'll be much stronger for her.
Regina's here.
Okay, thanks, Marie.
You're welcome.
Hey, Regina, you're back. That was pretty quick. Okay, I'm going to unmute you, Regina. Let's see if we can hear you.
Do you want us to record?
Yeah, you can start recording anytime, guys. Before we forget, doesn't matter. she'll have to still share her screen and stuff. And she's probably playing around with her microphone to get it to work. So hang tight, guys. If anybody's just come in the room, we're just waiting for Regina to set up on a different computer. She was having internet issues with the other one. And we'll get it work for you.
While everyone's waiting, you can post your VAPS wins things in the Facebook group.
Yeah, that would be cool. Sorry, I'm doing stuff in the background here, so. Yeah, we want you to get into the VAS wins and start engaging with each other, getting to know each other. Like, who is Kathy? Which Kathy? We usually have a lot of Kathys. I think Kathy Anderson's in here. You can put your full names in too. I think you can change your name by going more beside your name and under attendees and putting your full name in there. Then we can get to know you a little bit better. Regina, how's it going there?
Hey, Tanya, we're just working on a little technical issue with Regina real quick. So I'm just letting you know. I'll send you privately.
Okay, how about Regina? Maybe she should be working directly with us so that we can get that done for her. But then because I need to be in the loop.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to let you know right now, but I'm going to set it privately.
Okay, so Regina, typically when we have problems like this, I'll get right on the phone with you instead of trying to deal with it through chat. So Maria, if you want to step back from that, we'll contact her by phone and I'll get it working with her. I just like to. Okay, so Regina, I'm going to give you a dingle and I'm going to put myself on mute. And yeah, we'll be back in a moment, guys.
Mhm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Hallelujah. I'm gonna hang up. All right.
Okay, folks, we got Regina happening here.
Dear Lord.
It's all right. I think we're just going to start right from the very beginning to after an introduction and just let you go from there because the introduction was fine. I'm going to stop sharing and let you share. Let me see. We can put the recordings back on. I had mine on anyways. And I need you to share your screen.
Are we good?
From now on, just so Danielle and I know what's in the loop, if you just record, that's all we need you to do. We appreciate you. And otherwise, Danielle or I will deal with the technicals because I can just get on the phone right with her. And sometimes that's a bit quicker.
Okay, you guys can hear me now?
Yes. Can you turn it up a little bit?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. I just don't know if you can turn your microphone up a bit more.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can crank this baby up.
Let's see if we can crank it.
Okay. All right. It's up as high as it's going to be able to go. So I'm going to talk loud, okay?
Okay, can you guys all hear her and everything? Good. Yes, sounds good. Okay, maybe I just need to turn my microphone up a little bit louder. Okay. All right, this is sounding promising. Are we going to try this again, guys? Okay, Regina, what I'd like you to do is right after I introduce you, just please start right from there again, okay? Just pretend I've just introduced you and go right from the get-go, right from that first screen, okay? Thank you for speaking with us. Here's the microphone.
All right, guys. Honestly, thank you guys so much. Seriously, thank you for your patience. That's life sometimes, right? And you just got to roll with it. This is honestly the life of a VA. You got to have a backup plan. And so you've seen it firsthand today. So thank you so much for being with me today. My name is Regina Lewis. I'm excited to be here. Tanya mentioned before, this is my third presenting, and I am absolutely honored to be here. Check out as many of the live sessions of this conference as you can. I'm telling you, there are some awesome speakers and you're going to learn a lot. Whether you're new, whether you're a veteran, and in between, you're going to learn a whole lot. So make sure to check out as many sessions as you can. Do me a favor, and I asked this before I got all miscombobulated there. Do me a favor and type in the chat where you're from. Kind of like to know where you're from. I am originally from the Washington, D.C. area. I live in Northeast Ohio now. One of the best moves I could have made, really. And this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about 5 simple reasons why you haven't found your first client, and we're going to talk about how to fix that, okay? All right, so let's get started. So who is this lady named Regina? Well, I'm an online business owner, and I've been a VA coach and an online business owner since 2007. I create courses for virtual assistants. I am big on learning, and that probably has a lot to do with me being a homeschool mom previously. I homeschooled my boys for 6 years as I ran my VA business. And I am big on learning. You can never learn enough as a VA. Now, how did I get started as a VA? It was just a really funky story. My best friend at the time was babysitting my boys, and she was a divorced mom like I was. She was looking to make some extra money. She had a son the same age as my son, and she asked, could she babysit? I was like, yeah, sure. And long story short, she was leaving the boys alone so she could get high. And when I found out about it, at that time, I was working in a real estate office with a real estate agent doing admin work. And I told my boss, I said, listen, I got to quit. I don't have anybody to watch my boys. This is what I got to do. And she said, why don't you work from home? And I'm telling you, that's how it got started. I did not even know at that time that working from home was a thing, okay? And that's how I started, in my living room of my 2-bedroom apartment with a desk, propped up in my living room with an old desktop, a printer / fax machine / scanner, which lets you know how long ago this was, and a landline. And that's how I got started. So in my downtime, I do have downtime. As you can see there, I'm with two of my boys. One of them plays football, so I spend a lot of time at sporting events with my boys. But in my downtime, I love British shows. I don't know what it is about British shows, but I do. I love EastEnders and Downton Abbey, and I love the old British shows like Keeping Up Appearances. And my boys know that when I've got a big project going, they know that it's huge when I light a candle and I've got a Pepsi and a bag of Skittles. They know, leave mom alone. She's creating her next course. Just leave her be. And I love to read. I love biographies and autobiographies and blogging books. And these are two of my boys. But I have another child, another boy upstairs. He's upstairs. And if you guys know anything about children and trying to get stuff done like this, they will probably interrupt you. So let's all pray that doesn't happen. My youngest son has autism, and I have 5 older children, and I'm a grandma to seven beautiful, beautiful grandchildren. But I don't get called grandma. I'm Gigi. Okay, I'm a Gigi. Okay, so let's go and get started. So, another thing that I do in my downtime, I check out pretty office space on Pinterest. I absolutely love Pinterest. That is like where I can just veg out and just look at pretty pins and stuff like that. Well, I look at office space on there. Now, my current office space is a desk in my front room, and I'm actually packing to move this week into a townhome. And my office is going to be my bedroom for the foreseeable future until my kids graduate from high school. Now, I could get all wrapped up in, oh gosh, I don't have a dedicated office in my house, so I can't run my business. And, so-and-so has this fantastic office, and look where they are in their business. Let me tell you something, okay? There's not a right way or a wrong way to launch or run your online business. It's where you want to end up that makes all the difference in the world. Now, have any of you ever heard of the phrase shiny object syndrome? All right. So in layman's terms, it means chasing after things that look good on the outside and becoming distracted and not focusing on your end goal. All right. So how many of you belong to Facebook groups? And, you're probably in Facebook groups because you're looking for clients or you just want to connect with other VAs. So let's say somebody in the Facebook group puts up a post that they absolutely love this new thing. Okay. This new app that creates awesome graphics, all right? And that's great, but there's a problem. You're looking in your wallet and you're like, I can't afford that right now, but everybody's talking about this new thing and they're recommending it and they're saying you just gotta have it. And then you buy it and then guess what? You never use it. You got caught up in the frenzy, which is the shiny object syndrome, all right? Can I get an amen on that? Listen, I am not judging because I've done it too. And, when I talk to one of my coaching clients and they're almost in tears because they think they can't launch their business until they bought all the shiny things, I ask them, will the shiny things get you closer to your goal of launching your business? Or is there something else that's equally as good for free that's going to get you there? Now, I'd say this, what you see up on the screen, I say this all the time to my mastermind students. Start where you are and grow as you go. Listen, it's time to start working with what you've got until you get to where you want to go. Because the more that you long after something that you just can't make it happen right now, the more distance you're going to put between yourself and your goal. And that new shiny thing, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to make you feel more legit as a business person. Not everything is for you, and that's cool, okay? And, it's all right. We all start somewhere. And you know where that somewhere is? It's the beginning. Okay, so let me tell you, when I started as a VA, I was the queen of Google. And that's how I found Tanya. I was just Googling my head off and, how to make money working from home. And Tanya's website popped up and I printed out everything I could find on VA networking and put it in binders. And I made notes and I came to, VAVS. And I just sucked in everything. But, hey, that's where I started. You got to start where you are. All right. But when you're just launching and you're not seeing money come in, you got to do what you got to do. Right. So again, start where you are and grow as you go, because the reality is this: you won't be able to do all the things in the beginning, okay? And you shouldn't even try. The key is to just get started. All right, so do me a favor in the chat. Let me know how long you have been a VA, whether you're just starting out, whether you're just trying to figure out if this whole VA thing is even for you, whether you've been around for a long time, like I have, or Tanya, or anybody else who's a vet. Let me know in the chat. Now, I can't see the chat right this second, but I'll check the chat in a little bit, okay? All right. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the 5 common mistakes that new virtual assistants make when looking for clients. I'm going to share some solutions to your no client dilemma, and stay tuned until the end for a special freebie just for you. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. First problem: you are not showing what you know. You can't just say you can do something. You've got to show it. Listen, it's not enough to tell people that you can transcribe your behind off or create bomb diggity graphs. I don't even know if bomb diggity is a phrase anymore, but I'm using it, all right? You've got to be able to show people, potential clients, they've got to see what you can do. So business owners, they are savvy and they are cost conscious. What does that mean? They are looking for a return on their investment. They are not going to throw money around without knowing what they're getting. So you've got to show them. So let me share something that might bring the point home. All right. How many of you love Sam's Club? All right. I love Sam's Club. And with 3 boys at home who are always hungry, I'm in Sam's Club a lot. I got to buy in bulk, a lot. Now, what I'm not an adventurous eater. When I find something I like, I stick with it. And so it takes me time to try something new. Now, when you go to Sam's Club, you've got those folks doing the demonstration, next to their little griddle or crock pot or whatever, and they tempt you to come over and try that little bite, and you do it. And right next to the crock pot or the griddle or whatever it is the packaging that the food came in. But you know what? I'm not looking at the packaging. I'm looking at the food. And then I taste it. And before you know it, I'm picking up that package and I'm putting it in my cart. Now, the chances are that I would never have just picked up that delicious food had it just been sitting on the shelf. I needed someone to show me the possibilities of the food and give me a sample of how good it tasted. You have got to do the same thing to sign clients. You have to lead them to you, entice them with your samples. Now that sounds way sexier than it is, but you kind of get my point, right? So how do you fix that? All right, try doing a Facebook Live session on your Facebook page, all right? And now if you don't have a business Facebook account set up, do that as soon as possible. It's totally free. Pick a subject that your ideal client would just rally around and something that they'd want to learn about. So, and even if nobody shows up to the live session, you've got access to the recorded session that you can share later. You can also set up a private Facebook group where you can practice going live. You can record a video using Loom or Zoom. Get creative, try video. Also, that shows your personality. Clients want to know that. Clients want to connect with you. Again, you're working virtually, and that's how they're going to get to know you. Okay. But if getting in front of a camera scares you senseless and causes you all sorts of anxiety, create samples that your potential client can see. So make some pins for Pinterest to show off your graphic design skills, or transcribe a podcast and show off the finished product. Listen, the samples don't have to be from a paid client. Your future client just wants to see that you can do the work, all right? So put all your best work in a portfolio. You can use Google Drive or Dropbox. Just whatever works for you is just fine. And keep adding to it. All right, the second mistake is you're not blogging. And I know you might be thinking, come on, Regina, seriously, I thought blogging was just, for the moms who write about recipes and crafts and, how often their kid poops, okay? No, it's that may be true, but there are other blogs out there. Many of you may have found me through my blog, all right? Now, you might find a few recipes on my blog, but you definitely ain't gonna find any craft stuff because this sister can't cut paper in a straight line. But I do blog about what I know. And that's how to make money working from home, especially as a virtual assistant. So that's what blogging is all about. Blogging is about educating your readers with the knowledge that you've got. Because seriously, people love to learn new things. That's why you're here, right? People love to learn new things, and a blog is an effective way to do that. So, for example, let's say you provide services to nonprofits. You could write a blog post that really resonates with that audience. You could write about fundraising or volunteering. And in that blog post, you'll share how a virtual assistant can help with those tasks, like calling potential donors or creating newsletters to send out to subscribers or how to develop a packet for new volunteers. Then you end your blog post with a call to action. So sign up for a free 30-minute consultation to discuss your needs. Again, show what you know. Don't just say you know how to do something. You have got to prove it to the world. All right, so how do you fix it? All right, what does your client want to know more about? What pain points do your potential clients experience? You want to write about them and give them solutions. You can write about time management or work-life balance. That's always a good one. And when you do write a blog post, you're going to come across as the expert that you are. And honestly, starting a blog is not as hard as you think. Okay, I took a course. I hyperlinked it there. If you get the PDF of this, you can click that. But it really isn't hard to start one. I use Squarespace. I love Squarespace. I know some folks who use WordPress. If you don't want to get bogged down into the minutia of starting a blog, that's totally fine. What I would suggest that you do is write a blog post and then divide it into sections that you can then share on your social media posts. Make them into social media posts. You're still sharing the content, you'll just be sharing it a bit differently. Okay? All right, let's keep going. All right, this hurts, right? This hurts. Your proposal sucks. All right. I know that was blunt and I'm sorry, but I just got to put it out there. So I've been on the receiving end of cover letters and proposals throughout my career. And the ones that made me want to reach out to someone to schedule a chat were the ones that showed personality and addressed the specific needs of the job. But if you're sending out proposal after proposal and you're not even getting a second glance, it might be time to take a look at what you're sending out and then changing it up. Now listen, competition for VA gigs is fierce, all right? Everybody is hungry for business and you're always on the hunt, or you should be on the hunt to add to your client base. And that's, hey, got to be out there, doing your thing. So let's say you're in one of your favorite Facebook groups and boom, you come across, what sounds like the absolute perfect gig. All right. You've got the skills that the job is asking for. And in the back of your mind, you're telling yourself, man, I've got this. Yeah, I'm not worried about this. I've got this. And you sit down and you crank out this bomb proposal and you hit send and then you wait. And then you wait on the email asking for that chat, for that discovery call, and then nothing. You hear nothing. So days go by and weeks go by. And then you're like, whoa, what happened? I thought I had this. What's going on? Well, sometimes the reason that you don't get that email, it's simply because, the business owner found someone who was a bit more qualified than you. And, it's nothing personal. It's business. So you can't cry about it. Got to suck it up, keep it moving. But if you find this happening a bit more than you'd like, it might be time to take a look at what you're sending. So maybe your proposal could use a little bit of polishing, a little bit of sprucing up. Maybe it needs a total revamp. All right. Now, I've seen this in my own, I've been a recipient of proposals from VAs. And these are the three things that I have seen that just really, to me, are like nails on a chalkboard. So the first one, misspellings. Now, I don't even know why I've got to say it, but I got to say it. So please, please, please proofread your proposal before hitting send, all right? You are a VA, an online business manager, whatever you're calling yourself. That means that you provide exemplary admin services virtually, all right? So if your proposal has misspelled words and poor grammar, guess what? That business owner is not going to trust you with any type of communication on their behalf. Now, there are lots of tools out there. I use Grammarly. It's a nifty little free tool that catches spelling errors and all that other good stuff. Use spell check, use something. Just don't rely on your abilities because we all make mistakes. So use a tool to be your grammar buddy backup because your proposal has got to be perfect. You've got only one shot at that proposal, all right? So no samples, get some. Now listen, one of my grandmother's favorite phrases was, I can show you better than I can tell you. And in the virtual world, you've got to be able to show folks what you can do. Lip service, it's not going to cut it. So include a link to your website portfolio. If you don't have a website, that's okay. Link to a profile. So for example, if you write social media content for a client, get their permission and link to that social media page. If you create pins to be used on Pinterest, create a portfolio board and link to that. And if you don't have any samples, make some. Just write some creative tweets and save it in an Excel spreadsheet to show off your content curation skills. Create sample logos, ebook covers, you get the point. If you have samples from actual work, just make sure the client's okay with your using it. Most clients don't have an issue with that. Or even consider bartering services with someone and then use the completed work as a sample. The point is there's no excuse to not have samples because folks want and need to see what you can do, so you've got to show them. And the last mistake right there is not following directions. So when a business owner posts a gig, I can bet, and I can tell you because I've been on the receiving end of this, that they are going to receive a slew of proposals. Now, there's got to be a way to whittle down the applicants to the candidates that they want to interview. So sometimes, and I've done it, they will ask folks to type something in the email subject line, like, I really, really want this job. And so anyone who doesn't type that in the subject line won't get an interview. And why didn't you get the interview? Because you didn't follow directions. So whether you rushed to be first and you fired off your proposal without completely reading the directions, and I can speak on this one because I've done it, or you said, really, it can't be important, that important for me to do that. I'm just going to do what I want to do and put whatever I want in the subject line. What can it hurt? Well, I'm going to tell you what it's going to hurt. You're not going to get the discovery call. They're not going to chat with you. All right. You are a virtual business owner. The business owner that you're pitching your glorious skills to don't know you from a hole in the ground. And so there has to be trust established. Not following directions means either one, you don't care about details, or two, you want to do your own thing. So both reasons are enough to get you totally ignored. Now, how to fix it? Again, I mentioned Grammarly. Use it. Use it. If you've got a good friend who is a grammar king or queen, have them review stuff for you. The point is, you should not be sending out anything with errors on it. And get it right. Take your time. Don't worry about being the first person to submit a proposal. That's where mistakes happen. Follow all directions and explain any employment gaps. Now, if you've been out of the workforce for a little bit and you decide, hey, I want to be a VA, and you submit a proposal to someone and, they ask about, your recent work or whatever, and you haven't done anything in 10 years, you've got to be able to fill that gap. That's where samples are going to be very, very handy, okay? All right, number 4, you're not following up. Now, the money is in the follow-up, so you can't be afraid to do it. Now, let's say you sent a proposal to a potential client and you did all the things. You created an out-of-this-world sample and your proposal is spot on, but you still haven't heard anything. Now, this might be a case of, it's not you, it's me. So, because honestly, for every opening, there are hundreds of emails that pour in. And if that business owner is a one-man or one-woman band, it's going to take some time to sift through them all. Now, how do you fix that? Now, if you haven't heard anything in about a week, feel free to reach out. And on the next slide, I've got a sample follow-up email. And, I know it is nerve-wracking to sit and wonder, gosh, did they even see my email? Well, if you want to know when your email has, if your email has been opened, try using MailTrack. It's a free email tracker that you can install in Google Chrome, and you'll know when your emails are open, and it totally takes the stress out of knowing if they saw your email or not. Okay, so here's a sample follow-up that you can send to someone. Let's say you sent a proposal and you haven't heard anything. It's not pushy, okay, and it's actually pretty cordial at the end. I hope we can chat soon about the position, and best of luck in your recruiting efforts. We're going to keep it classy, folks. We're going to keep it classy, all right? Even though you might want to hear something, you're a professional. Okay, and the last thing is this: your skills are outdated. All right, so the online world moves fast, and I mean really fast. When I started my working experience, this was back in 1985, I actually used stenography. I worked in the federal government, and I was one of those secretaries who had their steno pad at the ready and a pen, and your boss would buzz you on the office phone and ask you to bring your pad in and sit down and take dictation. I was one of those folks. When was the last time you saw a demand for that? I'm going to tell you, had I not continued to learn, I wouldn't be sitting where I am today. So sometimes you got to take a look at what you're offering and what you know, and figure out whether you need to learn new skills or not. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything. But if your ideal client is using, let's say, MailChimp, for example, let me tell you something. You better darn well know MailChimp, all right? Now, there are enough free courses out there. Most sites even have tutorials, okay? Take them. Take them. All right, how do you fix that? I actually have courses in my VA 101 school. Again, I'm all about learning. I think everybody can learn something new. Figure out what your potential clients are using. How can you do that? You can check out their job descriptions. When they put up a posting looking for a VA, check out and see what they're listing. Are they asking for experience in Google Apps? Do they want somebody to know ConvertKit or WordPress? Figure it out. And again, if money is an issue, learn for free. Most websites do have free tutorials. Okay, so let's recap the 5 reasons why you're having trouble finding clients. You're not showing what you know, okay? You're not blogging, your proposal sucks, you're not following up, and your skills are outdated. So you gotta fix that stuff, folks. All right, now, if you are a new VA, here's the thing. It's exciting. It is so exciting. It is truly exciting to be a new VA, but it's hard work. There are, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, I can never say that word, there were 3.9 million people working as administrative assistants or secretaries. Admin work isn't going anywhere. And this type of work has definitely changed over the years, but the need is not going anywhere. All right, so how can you stand out? You might be thinking, oh my gosh, there are so many VAs out there. All right, well, okay. Are we going to get intimidated by that, or are we going to get motivated by that? Here's the thing. Just because you've got superstar admin skills doesn't mean that you're going to make a superstar VA. So maybe you can type super fast, or you can create the most amazing websites. Hey, if you can, congratulations to you. But guess what? Your super duper fantabulous admin skills are not going to be enough to be a kick butt VA. You've got to stand out. You've got to be the big dog. You've got to be that VA that everyone wants. And that has zero to do with your admin abilities. That has more to do with your mindset. And there's nothing wrong with being a worker bee. But if you want to be a success in the online space, you've got to stop thinking like a worker bee and think more along the lines of being a full-fledged business owner. Okay, so how do you do that? How can you stand out? Be selective. What I see time and time again is a new VA responding to each and every posting they see, and that's not good. Why? Okay, by applying to anything that comes down the pike, you're not specialized, and specialization is what's going to make you stand out. All right, so my dad was a master at his craft, which is bricklaying, one of the best in the area, okay? But, could he do other things? Could he do carpentry work? Yeah, but that wasn't his specialization. He was a bricklayer and he knew it and he was darn good at it. Find what you are awesome at and run with it. And when you determine your specialized gift, that thing that you can do so well, it's going to be easy to weed out the openings that aren't a good fit. And then you're not going to find yourself, working with clients who don't appreciate you. All right. Use the best tools. Now, just because you're a newbie doesn't mean you have to go cheap, but it doesn't mean you have to break the bank either. So some of the best tools out there are free or require a low investment. Clients absolutely love it when you use the tools that they already use, or even better, something that you can recommend something that they've never used. So for example, you've got a super unorganized client and emails are constantly getting lost, deadlines are being missed. So be proactive and set up a system to track deadlines and projects. My go-to tool is Trello. I track my weekly tasks, I collaborate with clients, and a whole lot more. And it's free. And free does not have to mean junk. That's why it's super important to charge your clients accordingly and not lowball, because you want to be able to upgrade the tools that you use in your business. And you can't do that if you're charging super low rates, right? Okay, so networking is one of the best ways that you can find clients. Hey, get out there, shake hands with another VA, just get to know other people and over deliver. Let's say a client asks for Twitter posts. Maybe do a search and find potential leads for that client. So offer to grow their Twitter followers in addition to creating content. Your client will love the fact that you want to be a part of their business and not just looking out for yours. And when the time comes, make sure to ask your client for a referral. You've been a huge asset to them in their business, and there's no need to be afraid to ask. And again, be unique. Show who you are, okay? All right. I'm going to end with some parting words, and then I'll go through the chat and kind of see what you guys have been talking about. All right, so I want to end with some parting words about being a VA that I hope will help you. So as a VA, you're going to work with some pretty cool people and do some pretty amazing things. And you might get, nice gifts at the holidays from your client that, to show their appreciation. You might even travel, or you might even find yourself sitting here like me and speaking at events, to show your expertise. That's the pretty side of being a VA. But here's the real deal. You're going to have days where you're going to hide in the bathroom to take a conference call, and you're going to pray that your kids don't barge in. You're going to have days where your microphone doesn't work and stuff just doesn't work. Your yoga pants become your home office outfit. And you know the pizza delivery person by first name because you're bogged down with all the work and that your clients have given you, and you just haven't made it to the grocery store. And you're constantly telling your family and friends no to invites because client work has got you so busy and you don't know the last time you did anything fun. All right. I've been there, all of that. The truth is, being a business owner, being a VA, it's hard. It's hard work and it ain't for everybody. But you can make some changes where you don't fall into a rut. So make a schedule and stick to it. I have a schedule now. And I stick to that. If I say I'm going to do something with my boys, that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing client work. And don't work outside of those hours. Now, here's another thing. Your focus and your niche are going to change, and that's totally okay. Now, when I started out in 2007, the real estate industry was huge. It was super hot. Now, I was busy with clients and I loved it. But then 2008 hit. And let me tell you, it got ugly because the real estate industry took a nosedive, and so did my business. And so to get out of that hole, I took any and every client I could find. And most people would call that hustling, right? No, I'm gonna tell you what it was called. It was called not working smart. It was only when I decided to focus on things that I truly enjoy did my business turn around for the better. Now, my business today doesn't resemble my early days at all. And that's a good thing because your likes and your dislikes will make themselves clear as you progress. Don't fight it, just go with it. And my final point is this. Now, I can't say the next thing any clearer than this, all right? Being a VA is not just about doing the work. There are so many other things that come with being a VA. It's about finding clients. It's about retaining your clients. It's about promoting your business and connecting with other VAs and making sure you've got enough clients and paying your bills and, firing clients. Yes, you can fire clients. You're a business owner. You can do that. Being a VA is not only about the client work, it's so much more. And if you stay stuck in just doing work for the client mode, you're not going to grow. And if that scares you, that's totally understandable. But this is my challenge to you. Are you going to let the fear get in the way, or are you just going to do it? That's your choice. Okay, that is the end for me. Thank you for hanging with me. If you have any questions, I invite you to send me an email. There's my email address right there on the screen. You can also visit my website, execassist.co. That is my new venture, which is a division of Live and Work by Faith. Definitely send me a message. And there we go. There's a hyperlink to ExecAssist. And also there's a freebie, 72 places to find your next virtual assistant client. Okay. So guys, thank you for being so patient. Thank you for being so understanding. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Regina, thank you so much. I'm not sure if they can even hyperlink on Zoom, so we might have to get that link from you later on. I'll find it for you guys.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, she can put it in the chat area for you. Wonderful webinar. And I'm so glad that you are a virtual assistant and you know that when things get harried, like microphones don't work and that, we just keep trudging through it. And that was really cool. We don't let things like that stop us or anything. It's amazing being a virtual assistant, and you're always going to have technical things happening. It's just part of your life. And I loved how you just trudged straight through that with no problem at all, Regina. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And again, folks, I hope you learned from that. Always have a backup. Always have a backup plan. Stuff is going to go wrong. It is. All right. That's life. It's not, doesn't have anything to do with just being a VA. That's just life. Okay. Have a backup plan.
Regina, do you have time for a couple of questions? Or
Absolutely.
Cool. Karen asks, how long after sending a proposal is appropriate for a follow-up?
I would say if you have not heard anything in a week, all right, I am not bugged by anyone who sends me a follow-up email within a week later, okay? Usually the first few days of posting, a gig, you're usually inundated. And it usually takes a few days just to sift through. If you haven't heard anything in a week, I would say go ahead and absolutely send that follow-up email. Most business owners are not bothered by that at all. They will look at that as someone who takes initiative. So go for it. And I got to tell you, if somebody were to feel some kind of way about that, I'd have to wonder if that's the right client for you anyway.
And Regina, I'm not sure if that was the link. I'm not sure if you put it in our swag bag. If you did, sorry, I put the link out there.
No, that's totally fine. That is the link.
Is there something different in the swag bag that you had though?
There is.
Yes.
Yep.
So this is just a little teaser for what she's got in the swag bag for you guys. If you haven't checked that out yet, the gold and diamond ticket holders, she's got, what is it? Let me just tell you what she's got in there, because a lot of our speakers put out some really cool full programs for you. And you did a program, how to find, sign, and keep clients. That's what you put in there that people can access. So.
And I'm just scrolling back through the chat. Oh my gosh, and so many of you are just starting, but there are so many veterans. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you, this just makes my heart sing. It really does. And for those of you who are just starting out as VAs, I have to tell you, the VA industry is one of the most helpful industries there is out there. I have met so many magnificent people who have just helped me get to where I'm sitting today. I'm going to tell you, reach out to all the speakers. I can bet you that they will steer you in the right direction if you have questions. Don't be afraid to do that, okay?
Yeah, now Dana asks, any tips on being unique?
You know what? I mean, I can tell you what works for me, but unique is just that. It's being unique. But what I can say is this: video is going to get you to the top of the heap, all right? Because that's how people will connect with you. That's how they will get to know you and your personality, because your personality just speaks volumes through video that it can't even do through just an email that you send, right? So I would say get comfortable with email. And, being unique, if you've got a catchphrase that you use that. Have your special tag. Have a hashtag devoted to your business. Just come up with different creative ways, but whatever it is that you decide to do, make sure that it fits your personality. Make sure that you're not feeling uncomfortable doing something that just isn't you.
Now let's see if there's one other question here from Sue, and I'm pretty sure it's related to your webinar here. How do you create samples when what you do are things like QuickBooks, Dropbox, Outlook, etc.?
Let's say, you know what? You can do like a screenshot. You can do a video tutorial. All right. So let's say you set up a sample entry in QuickBooks. You could do a recording as you do the entry in QuickBooks. All right. It's all about getting creative and showing folks what you do know. And there are enough tools out there where you can do that. So just record like a quick tutorial and just say, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm showing you how to, enter a sample entry in QuickBooks and then walk through it. Okay. Yep. Screenshots, anything. Just show folks what you can do.
Debbie asks, how do you produce quality video? What software do you use?
I use several things. If I'm doing like a quick response to someone, and let's say I want to do like I just mentioned, like a quick tutorial, I use Loom. Loom is really good. There you go. It's I can't even think. It's a Google Chrome extension, and it's right there, and I can just record something real quick. And usually that's good enough for that purpose. You can also use Zoom, what we're in right now. You can also use Zoom and do it that way. But Loom is pretty good.
Yeah, I love Loom. You know what I do when people send me long emails? Like it takes so long to read through them, and I think and I think I'm never going to respond because it's so long. Like I don't think I can type that much back. So I just do a Loom video.
Yep.
And here's my response, right? And it's in voice, and it's so much quicker and saves me so much time than having to write it all out.
Absolutely.
My typing isn't that fast, and it's slow.
Really, and honestly, I mean, I've gotten a few of those video responses from you, Tanya. And
have you?
I have. And I got to tell you, honestly, from my end, sometimes you're just tired and you don't want to read another darn word. Okay, but you just don't want to do it. But it's so much easier to hear. And again, for me, I kind of feel like, well, gee, you know what? She took that time to record that. That was so nice of her.
And really, it took me less time to do that. It probably would have been nicer for me to make a long email to you when I put some effort into it, but it just seems so much quicker just to jump on Loom or something or other. I use Voxer as well, Kathy. You guys might have heard Danielle just barely said something on Voxer, and I thought, oh, my mic's on, right? But we use that to correspond back and forth. I actually do Voxer coaching, so that's something I'll talk to you another time about later, but this is not the time. Let me see what else we got. We've got a couple more questions, if you're okay still.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
I kept you all waiting. I can sit here.
Okay. Merritt asks, what's your perspective on social media methods like using LinkedIn?
My perspective?
Yeah. To get clients, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I would say really go where your ideal client is. All right. So let's say attorneys. An attorney is probably going to be hanging out on LinkedIn. Okay. Might find them on Facebook too, but they're primarily going to be hanging out on LinkedIn. I think the key is, now see, back in the day, it was like status clout. If you had like on your website, a bunch of different icons for all the social media platforms where you were hanging out. I mean, if you had like 20 icons, it's like, woohoo, she must be, social media famous. No, I was a social media fool is what I was, because I wasn't hanging out where my ideal client was. So that is really going to require you to figure out where your client is hanging out. Go where they are. And I am big on social media, but I have to be strategic about it, because seriously, we all know it. Social media can be a time suck, and before you know it, you've wasted like umpteen, hours on social media, and for what? So you've got to be strategic. You've got to be mindful. You've got to set boundaries. And that's going to require you to really figure out who it is you want to target and where they're hanging out.
Good answer there, Regina. Kathy, someone has asked this above, and she's asking this again. The hashtags we are using aren't just for Twitter. You can use them on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I mean, that's the way we can find things. Just
absolutely.
Hashtag. Okay, so on all your social networks. I just wanted to clear that up, because someone's been asked that a couple of times. Okay, let's see. Karen asks, what is the best way to find your business name? And I know you have an opinion on this, so I'm going to let you take this one, Regina.
I do. Whatever it is, just make sure it represents you, okay? However, what I have found is, one, don't spend too much time on it. Don't make that the thing that keeps you from getting started. I've seen that happen way too much. I've seen VAs get bogged down in figuring out what their name is and their logo. Okay, I'm gonna break it to you. I'm gonna be as nice about this as I can. A potential client, especially when you're just starting out, and frankly, even when you're a vet, they don't give a rat's behind about your logo. They just don't. Okay. So stop it. Just stop it. Okay. Get off Canva and stop creating those logos that your potential client doesn't care about. If you're creating samples of logos, that's something totally different. But don't let a business name, get you bogged down from starting. If you want to keep it simple and, just kind of looking down the road, just use your own name. Just use your own name, okay? There's only one you, right? You got a name like John Smith. No, there's not only one you, all right? But, use your name. Use, a combination of your name or something. But whatever it is, don't get, I know, James, me, I tell it like it is. Just don't let that keep you from getting started is basically what I'm trying to say. Your potential client wants to know what it is you can do. And if they can figure that out from your business name, great. But you might have to do some some education there and tell them what you do. Whatever it is, just don't let it get in the way of getting started, because that's an excuse. That's an excuse that I've seen too many new VAs use from getting started. Don't do it.
And some VAs just have excuses. Oh, I don't have my business cards done yet.
Yep, stop it. Stop
I
it.
haven't
Just
bought a fax machine yet.
Right. Stop it.
Who uses a fax machine?
Thank you.
Just
Stop
'cause you
it.
read that somewhere, you don't have to have one, right?
Right. Just cut it out, people. Stop it. Just don't. Just don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Okay? Don't do that to yourself. Figure out what it is that you want to name yourself and just keep it moving. And just give yourself some grace and understand it's going to change. Do you know how many business names I've had in the years since I've started? It's going to change. Your vision is going to change. The clients that you serve will probably change. That's just seasons. It's life. It's going to change. So don't spend too much time on it. Seriously, get started.
Yeah, I've even changed my niche like 3 times over the years. So.
Yeah.
You don't have a niche, you can still have a client. You don't have to have a niche to have a client, or niche, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. So just don't do it to yourself. Get started. Okay. Do what really matters in your business, which is creating those samples and connecting with your ideal client. That's what matters.
Yeah, getting a client and making money is what matters.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what else we got. A couple more here. Wendy says, I've created a podcast in the past and would love to do that as part of my VA services. Could that be packaged? Definitely.
Sure. Absolutely. Podcasts are huge. And there's so many things you can do with podcasts. Okay. You could do the editing. You could do the intros and the outros. You could do the show notes. I mean, there's so many things that you could do. Whatever it is that you decide to do, be that person who does that thing. Okay. So if you are the person who does show notes for podcasts for life coaches, be that person. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, if you do a bang up job for one, your name will be out there and you will have referrals. And let me tell you, referrals are the bread and butter of your VA business. But on the flip side of that, if you mess up and you do a funky job and you aren't gracious about it, you aren't apologetic about it, believe me, as quick as your name will be out there to get a referral, it's going to be the same quickness that your name will be out there. People will be like, nope, don't fool with them. Nope, don't do it. So reputation is huge in this business. Have integrity, be professional in all your dealings, because you don't know who you're going to be working with down the road. You don't know who that person knows. So always approach whatever it is you're doing with professionalism and integrity.
And Wendy's got a side note here that she meant to say, how could the podcast